Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the continuation of Unit 4, the design process. Today, we're going to be going into lesson number 4, which is user interfaces. User interfaces. Okay, so be sure and ask your instructor for, let's go to the other page first. Be sure and ask your instructor for the activity guides that go along with this lesson. There are 3 of them, and you will need all 3. Okay, first of all, following the mini design process, you were looked towards the next phase of the design, prototyping a product that attempts to address user needs. In teams, well, you'll be working by yourself. I'm going to address this more or less for you working by yourself, but if you can get a partner, that's great. You get a partner and work together, this will be much easier for you. You're going to examine a paper prototype for a chat app called Text Your Grandkids. Though using this paper prototype, you get a chance to see how simple paper prototype can be used to quickly test ideas and assumptions before we ever get to the computer. After using the provided paper prototype, you'll begin to identify ways to improve the next iteration. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the overview. In this lesson, you're going to get to see how a paper prototype can be used to test and get feedback on software before writing a code. To help out a developer with their idea, the class tests and provides an app prototype made of paper. Paper prototypes are made of paper, and they're easy to mess around with, to play with, to improve because they are just paper. So it makes it so much easier to work with. Vocab words for today: prototype, a first or early model of a product that allows you to test assumptions before developing the final version. And the second word, user interface, the visual elements of a program through which a user controls or communicates with the application, often abbreviated UI. Okay, so do make sure you have all the activity guides. The first one we're going to look at is the one we're going to be using. Well, let's see, that's actually the last one. Let's go to the first one here. This is what you're going to get, and if you'd like, you can cut it out. It is actually the paper prototype by itself. Okay, these images represent the visual elements of the app itself, so you can cut them out, use it that way. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you the one that we actually use to navigate with. So get this one, cut it out. You can move it around if you like. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to play around with it when you can move them around. So the next thing we're going to need is I'm sorry. Let's go to this one here. The activity guide itself, and that is the user testing. Okay, so a test case. This is called test casing. This is how you're going to use your paper prototype and those different slides that we have to play around with it. Okay, so a test case is a specific user interaction that the developer of an app wants to test for. Choosing good test cases can ensure that when you test an app with the user, you hit all the important functionality. In the table below, each row is a test case made up of specific tasks that you are trying to perform. A space for you to document what you tried and a space to record your reaction is on that paper. Prototype testing. You're going to test out this prototype with a partner. Well, you'll be doing it by yourself, but I'll certainly give you a hand with it because I am here. Your role is to be the user, interacting with the user interface screens as if it's an actual app. Your partner, the computer, will take care of making sure the prototype responds as it was designed. Use the tables below to try out different test cases and record the results. The last few rows are left blank to allow you to explore other areas of the app that you're interested in. The first row is completed as an example. Okay, so the first row says that view Suzette's information. Okay, so when we go back to the, let's see, I'm going to be jumping back and forth to this one right here. When we go back to the actual using the app itself, this portion is the navigation portion. And we're going to jump back and forth because you don't have a partner and it's kind of hard to do. So first of all, we want to find out getting information about Suzette. Okay, this is an app that is for a grandma to use on her phone. Okay, so what we want to do is want to find out information about Suzette. So the first thing she might do is go ahead and push the button that has Suzette's picture on it. That should take her to the next screen, which is Suzette. Now, what would happen if we press any of these other buttons? And I want you to go ahead and press them, pretend like you're pressing them, and see what would happen. You should get no reaction because there's nothing for those particular grandkids on her app or on her phone. So the only thing that you would get a reaction from, or the only picture, would be Suzette. So we go back here and we are testing it now. Okay, so we viewed Suzette's information. We clicked on each of the screen faces until I found one of the changes to Suzette's screen, or one that changes to Suzette's screen. It wasn't really clear who was who on the home screen. It would be nice if it showed each child or each kid's name below the picture. Yeah, and that would be great if it showed each child's name below the picture. That way you would know that here's Suzette. I can go straight to Suzette without having to push all these other screens, all right? So next task they're asking us to do, get help on how to use the app, okay? If I have an app, I'm trying to get some help. Where would I go? Well, I would go to the help screen. What's the help screen? Well, it just happens to be on our first screen, a help icon down at the bottom. So if she pushes the help icon, this would be this little button here. You push that, it takes you onto the help screen. And the help screen gives you an idea of what is available for help. Okay, so we happen to look at this big screen. Here's the help screen. Texturegram Grandkids is an app designed to help you connect better with younger generation. Add a grandkid, select their face on the home screen, and start chatting. Whenever your grandkid uses slang word, it will it'll show up with a red outline. Click on the outline word to learn the definition and see a translation of your grandkid's message, okay? So we go back to that. And so getting help from the user. What did we get? What did we try? We went ahead and tried the help button. And from the help button, what did it do? It took us to a help page. And the help page gave us some information on what to do, okay? So if you want to go back, you can go ahead and fill out what was your reaction? What did you do? Did it give you enough information to proceed? And that's what I want you to fill in. So fill in the boxes. I'll give you a couple seconds to do that. And give us your reaction. Let us know how it felt. So remember, all of these reactions are looked at by the app designer. He wants to know how you feel, or she wants to know how you feel, either one, about using this particular app. Okay. So the next thing we want to do, find out Suzette's birthday. What would we do for that? Go ahead and write it in. What would you do for finding out Suzette's birthday? Okay, so finding out Suzette's birthday, first of all, we'd have to go to Suzette. We want to make sure that we do go to Suzette's page. If we go to click on Suzette, once we find out who she is, it takes us to her page, gives us a little bit of information on her. Let's take a look at that page. And Suzette's page looks like this, right here, the center one. Okay, on Suzette's page, we have her next birthday in 3 months, 5 days. She's 13 and she's in 8th grade. So that gives us a little bit of information on Suzette. It also tells us on that page there's what? A chat symbol, which means from Suzette's page, you can go to her chat page. Okay, so let's go back here. And let's see what else we need to do first of all. So what was our reaction? We found out her birthday. It was on her information page. And what was your reaction? Well, the reaction was probably pretty good because we found out her birthday. Plus, it also gave us another way to go to another page. All right. Send Suzette a message. That's our next task. How are we going to send Suzette a message? Well, it just so happens we were on her page that gave us a link to the chat page right down at the bottom. It said chat. Let's take a look at that one again. And here it is, right here, Suzette's birthday, and then down at the bottom, chat page. So then that would take us up to the chat page, we assume. We click on, and there it is, Suzette's chat page. Okay, she's talking to her grandma, just keeping it real. LOL. You're a goof. You know me. LOL, there it is in red. What does that do? What does that do? Remember what that said? LOL. Okay. If we look at LOL, that's an acronym. So it's supposed to take us to a page that will give us the definition of that acronym. And sure enough, we click on that, and there it is, LOL. Let's go take a look at those two pages. And here it is. Suzette's page is right here. Okay. And like I said, it's kind of hard not to have them cut out and be working with a partner, but I think this is a good way to get a look at everything, every page, and kind of navigate the pages as an individual. So here it is, LOL. So we found LOL. There's an acronym. Where's that going to take us? That's going to take us down to the LOL page, the acronym page. There's an LOL page, an acronym page. Now, once we get there, it gives us the definition: laughing out loud, grandkid, use, laughing out loud, you're a goof. Okay. So then it also gives us some icons down at the bottom. Okay. Icons down at the bottom. It gives us the home page to go back to the home page. It gives us the chat page to go back to the chat page. It also gives us a help page to take us to the help page. Okay. So those are three of the navigation pages that it has given us. Could it give us more? Absolutely. You can add more pages. Like, for instance, we could have added the other three grandkids, and it would give us more pages to go to. Like, for instance, it may even give us the three remaining grandkids on this page. It's hard to say. It's the way you want to set it up for your app. It's all up to you. Okay. So let's go back to the activity guide again. And so we sent Suzette a message. We chatted with her. We got the definition of the acronym. Now the rest of it, I'm going to let you do on your own. Change Suzette's age. How would you do that? You go back to her page for her birthday and possibly change her age. Or you could type it in, and instead of having it 3 months? Let's go back and take a look. I have to look at it again. 3 months and 6 days, she'll be 13. You could type in her actual birthday, that she's 12 now or something like that if you wish to change it. So that gives you an idea of how to navigate using a paper prototype. Okay, this is your navigation page, so you can use it and kind of play around with it. It also has a setting page. You can look at your setting page. The help page takes you to the setting page. And then again, all these other icons down at the bottom take you to different pages. Some of these are very limited. They only take you one spot. For instance, the setting page just takes you back to the home page, which really is all you need for this particular app. Okay, but the LOL page, the acronym page, takes you back to the home page, the help page, and the chat page. So that's a way that they use to navigate this particular app, which is a paper prototype for the app. So go ahead and do something on your own if you'd like. Change Suzette's age, change Suzette's picture, enable notifications. If you try those things, see what happens. Make a note of your reaction when you tried it and what would happen if you did try it. Can you do it? Can you do that? All right, so that gives you some idea on paper prototype. That's the way we work with paper prototypes. We use them to navigate around and see what needs to be improved, what needs to be added, what needs to be taken away, and how we would go ahead and do that. So that's pretty much how Lesson 4 works with user interface. We as individuals go and use a paper prototype to make it better. That's the whole idea. And your paper prototype sometimes could have a lot of messy pages on it because you might be adding something, taken away, or you may have 5 different pages for the same page that you've worked on to get it right, to get it so that it works. And that's all up to you. So that concludes this lesson. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you in Lesson 5.